we're pleased to have on the Rich Eisen Show, Bob McKillop here on the program. How are you, Coach?
Good morning, Rich. Wonderful to be with you.
It's wonderful to have you here. I really appreciate this. When did you first hear of Steph Curry, Bob?
Our youngest son, Brendan, actually played with Stephen when he was 10 years old on a baseball team, and they were state champs. And weekend after weekend during that spring and summer, we would spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday watching Stephen play baseball with Brendan, and got to spend a lot of time with Dell and with Sonia. And, of course, knowing Dell, living in Charlotte, he was an icon himself, so it was a long time ago.
So how was Steph as a baseball player, Coach? How was he?
I thought he was terrific, absolutely terrific. Whatever he does, he's got a magic touch. Golf, baseball, he was a sensational center fielder and shortstop. He had just great eye-hand coordination, eye-feet coordination. He was sensational.
When did you realize that you had a shot to get him to Davidson? How did the recruiting process for you to get him to play basketball with the Wildcats, how did that go?
You know that process of watching who else is recruiting him, and we saw that not many of the high-powered programs were recruiting him, so we felt we were right in the ballpark, and we just followed everything he did. We were close by, and that gave us a great advantage. We were 20 minutes away, and we got to see him play and compete and read about him, and came up to campus. So it was a very early process and very kind of not that difficult of a process because the big guys didn't come after him.
Why did the big guys not go after him, do you think?
I think the fact that he was young-looking, the fact that he was not powerfully built, the fact that he was not seen very much by a lot of people. So I think there were a combination of factors.
Now, we're always looking from people in my end of the business for the genesis of the fire that burns within an athlete and a competitor like Stephen Curry. And we look at Tom Brady at Michigan and having to earn basically his scholarship there and then battle with Drew Henson for the quarterback spot there in Michigan and have to prove his mettle, and then he's drafted 199th overall. The fact that the big guys didn't go after Steph Curry, do you think that's where the genesis of his fire is, Coach?
Absolutely. He has a chip on his shoulder that he constantly wears. And he's always been told he wasn't big enough, strong enough. And he carried that around throughout his high school career, throughout his college career, and now he's carrying around in the NBA because every time he's entered into the realm of competition, he's been told, you'll be okay, but. And he certainly has answered that bell every time.
Bob McKillop, Davidson head coach, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So when did you realize when you got him on campus what sort of talent you could mold him into or help him achieve? When did you first realize that?
I tell you, Rich, it was the first 3 weeks of the school year, his freshman year. During individual instruction, we don't have a boot camp or anything, but we put him through some rigorous drills in which you're challenged intellectually as well as physically, emotionally, and he responded with the greatest poise, with the greatest magnificence I've ever seen in a young man. And I recall very vividly going to a booster meeting in early October of his freshman year and saying, we got something very special here. And then he goes out in his first game as a Davidson player, starting, and he has, I think, 9 turnovers in the first game against Eastern Michigan. And we're down 16 points. And we played him in the second half, started him in the second half, and he wound up with 13 turnovers, but we wound up winning the game, and he got 32 the next night against Michigan. So he was a guy that responded to people believing in him, and our whole staff did, the whole team did. And that belief in him, I think, really galvanized that freshman start. And as a result, that catapulted him into where he became as a college player and now eventually as an NBA player.
Yeah, and then that Elite Eight run in 2008, I just remember there was something about him, his game, and just the way he acted that I just responded to as a fan. He's got this energy that I think fans find very attractive, is the only other way to put it.
Yeah, he's magnetic. You root for him. It's not like he's, boy, I hope he doesn't play well today, or I don't like him, or there's something magnetic about the way he does things. He has fun doing it. And I think it's also a big statement about Steph's personality himself and his character. He's not just good in basketball; he's good in life, yeah. And that resonates with everything he does.
Well, we see he's a devoted dad. That we've seen, Coach. You know?
and I think he's not just a devoted dad; he's a devoted husband, and the combination of those two factors is certainly a great model for our world to see.
How much contact have you had with him during this run?
Text 2-3 times a week. Not much on the phone. He's a little busy.
Yeah, he is. I know. And how much of a recruiting tool is Steph Curry for you at Davidson, Coach?
We recruit nationally and internationally, and his reach as a great player has reached international levels. Every kid we recruit wants to be Stephen Curry. And that's, you look at his features and you say, I could be that. I could be as big as that. He's not that overpowering. It's not LeBron James, who's 6'9", 240, whatever he is, and he's an average-sized guy. So everyone thinks they could be him.
Yeah, I think that's another part. Yeah, that's been another part of it too, Coach. It's his accessibility to people, that they think that, you know what, I mean, why not me if he can? And it was interesting. There was a teacher, apparently, I don't know if you heard this, that made news not wanting Curry to speak to his kids in a class because of how difficult it is and how long of a shot it is to become him. And he didn't want to give kids the false impression that they could be him. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't. But it's interesting that I've been called the last 3 weeks about people writing books about achievement and how they're going to use Stephen as an example for young kids growing up. So sort of the contrary to that, it's an interesting dynamic that he better than anybody has handled it so very well.
Last question for you, Coach. I'm with Bob McKillop, Davidson head coach, Stephen Curry's head coach here on the Rich Eisen Show. How much better do you think he can become? Or do you think we're seeing the beginning of a bright shining star, shining as bright as we're going to see?
Steph has an ambition to be not a shooting star, but a shining star. He wants to be up in the heavens all the time. I was out for the game against Portland, the 77th game of the season. He says to me after the game, Coach, I'm really concerned about my stamina. I've had to sit 18 games in the fourth quarter because we've had significant leads, and I need to get to work on my core and my cardio. Now, you tell me what NBA player after 77 games is going to be worried about his core and his cardio. That's the kind of work ethic that he has. That's the kind of quest for excellence that possesses him. I think he's going to get better and better.
Coach, thanks for the call and the insight. Truly appreciate it.
Okay, Rich. Pleasure to be with you.
You bet. That is, again, 8-time Southern Conference Coach of the Year, 7-time Southern Conference Tournament Champion Coach, Bob McKillop here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.